Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into an exciting project building a library management system in Appian. If you are looking to learn how to design structured databases, implement issue and return of the book logic, and also we will see in this tutorial like when a book is issued, an email will be sent out with dynamic table, and here as well for return as well we will create the email with dynamic table creation as well. Then you are in the right place. So how this library management system works is that first of all the librarian will add a book here. So in order to add a book, he will fill all the related details about the book. So let me just add a book here. So here I have added a sample book like Harry Potter. Initially the librarian will add the book with all these details here, and how many total copies are there, how many available are there, that also will be written here, and the published date is there, like when this book was published, genre and status. Just click on create. Once a book has been created here, then this book can be issued to any other students as well. Now the book has been added. Let's see at the bottom our book has been added here, and with all the details that we have filled up here, and the status is available as of now. Similarly, we can add a student as well with all the details here, and after that let's say that I need to issue the book to some student here. So how can you do that? So you have to click on issue a book, and then you have to select like which book you have to issue. So let's say that I have added Harry Potter, so I will search for Harry Potter here. So if you see here, the author has populated, the genre has populated, and the total copies of this book has also populated here. And let's select a student here. It is a picker field here, so let's select here James Brown. So it will give us the student info as well, and automatically the due date will be set after 10 days here. Now just click on submit here. So once a book is submitted, then the available copy will decrease by 1 here, and the student will get a mail that this particular book has been issued to you. So let's see that how it works. First of all, let's go to the book part here, and when we go to the book here, you will see that the total copies was 10, but now it is reduced by 1 here. And we will get an email as well for the book issue. Let's see the email here. So if you see that the email has come up here. Hi, the following book has been issued to you, Harry Potter, genre issued on, and the due date has also came up here. Now here you will see that the one entry has been made for Harry Potter book, and it has been issued to James Brown here. Let's say that James Brown want to return the book here. As of now the return date is null here. So what we will do here is we will go to the return tab here on our site, and here you will see that this tab is designed to return the book here. So here you will see that in this tab all the books have return date as null here. So when a book is returned here, it moves away from this grid. So this book is currently issued to the James Brown. What we will do here is click on return book here, and here let's write the name of the student, James Brown. So here it will list that what all books James Brown has taken here. So not only the Harry Potter, but he has taken the War and Peace as well, and other books as well. So I will select here Harry Potter book, and let's say the War and Peace as well. These two books James Brown want to return, and click on the submit button. Once the user click on the submit button, then the respective books available copy will get increment by 1 here, and the user will get a email notification that following books have been returned. Now see here in the grid, James Brown name will not show at all. So if you go in the issue books here, if I search by here James Brown, so let's search here by James Brown, and see here James Brown has returned the Harry Potter book here. And if I go in the book section, Harry Potter book will again be 10 here. So you can see here total copies is this one, and available entry is this one here. And he would have got a mail as well. See here, these two books we have returned here. So we have got a mail as well when it was issued and when it was returned. So all of this has been captured here. So in this way we will try to design our library management system with complete automation. So let's get started on this tutorial. Now before creating any application, it is very important to understand the application, its table structure and the workflow of the application, then only move to the application development. So first of all, we will go to the requirement document here. So first of all, the introduction of the application has been given here, like what is the purpose of this application. After that, the table has been given here, like these are the main tables. Let's understand the table and its each field. You should be aware about each field field of the table, what is the purpose of each field here. So first of all, you can see ID PK is there, that is auto increment, that's fine. After that, title of the book is there, author, ISBN is there. These three fields are very common fields for any book. After that, total copies are there, that is an integer, means whenever a book is added, how many copy it will have. After that, available copy is there. This field we will try to update whenever a book is issued and when a book is returned here. After that, published date of the book is there and status. This status ID you can ignore it. Then genre ID is there, like what is the genre of the book, and some audit fields are there. So I hope that the book table is clear to you. I have already created the record type for the book field here, and here you can see all the fields I have mapped in the record here. After that, I have also mapped with the genre ID one relation here. So in this way you have to add the relation as well, many to one, means many book can have one genres. So like this you have to add a relation here. After that, the second table is book genre. So first of all, IDPK is there of the genre, and then the value of the genre is there. It can be fantasy, fiction, biography, anything. The next table is the book issue. This is one of the most important table here. Whenever a book is issued, so here in the screen you can see that when a book is issued, then we select a book name here. So for that, one book ID is selected here. After that, we select a particular student name as well, to whom we have to issue the book. Every detail is captured here, like the book ID is captured, the student ID is captured, and when this book was issued, this will automatically get captured by the system. After that, the due date. So here in the application you can see here, due date automatically gets captured here. After that, when this was returned, so when this book will get returned, we will again come to this table and we will update the return date time, and then some audit fields are there. So I hope this table is as well clear to you. And finally, the student table. This is a very basic table is there. So ID, name, email, phone, gender, everything is captured here, and some audit fields are there. So I hope that the complete table structure is clear to you. We have created the record type for the book here. Here you can see the genre is there, and after that the student record is there. The complete record has been created. So now we will try to create the record type for the book issue here, because that is one of the important table, and we will also see how to establish relation as well. So go to your designer, go to new and go to record type, and here we will write here book issue. Click on create, save your security changes, and here we will go to tell us about your data and click on I want to start from scratch. Click on next here and click on next. And here we will try to add all the fields that are present there. For example, book ID, student ID is there. So here we will try to add few fields. Let's try to add multiple fields and then select 4 fields here. And here we will write here book ID. Book ID, like which book ID, and then the student ID is there. Click on number integer, and then when it was issued, so issued date time, it will be a date time field, and the next field will be returned here. Just select the date time here, and after that there is modified on and modified by. So we will just remove this created by and created on here, and modified by we will select text here. Click on next and next. Click on next here and save your changes. And now click on close here. Now we will try to add relationship of book issue to the student and the book as well, because there is a book ID and there is a student ID as well. So go to add relationship, and now we will select here LMS. Select your record type, click on next here, and here it will have many to one relationship here. So select your book ID and automatically this field is selected here. Click on add, and similarly we will add relation with the student as well. Click on add relationship, and here let's select here LMS student. Click on next here, and here as well it will be many to one relationship. So it is student ID and it is the IDPK of the LMS student, and then click on add here. So in this way we have added the book issue record type as well and established the relation as well. Now the next thing important is that going into the workflow and creating the steps one by one here. The very first workflow that it talks about is adding a book here. Means the admin will add a book in the system, then they will add a student in the system as well. So let's go to our designer and let's try to create a UI to add a book here. So in the designer, click on new here and click on interface, and here we will try to give the name as add or update book. Click on create. Now once your UI have been created, it will open a new window. Here select the form layout. So in this form layout, we will try to fill out the details about the book here. We don't need the other section here, and here we will try to write here add book. And let's take a columns layout here, and in this columns layout we will add all the relevant details for adding a book here. So where is our book? Here. Title, author, ISBN, all these are varchar. So first of all, we will add here the title of the book, then one text field for the author and another for the ISBN here. After that, we have to add here total copies and available copies as well. So for that, we will add an integer field here. So let's take another columns layout just below this columns here, and then we will take total copies, and then we will take the available copies here. After that, there is published date as well. So this is the date field here. So for the published date. After that, there is a genre as well. So what genre this book belongs to. So let's try to add our drop down field here. That is going to be the book genre. All these values will get saved into our book rule input. So what we will do here is that we will just go and create a rule input. So let's give our name for our rule input LMS and then underscore book. And here also we will select the data type as LMS book here. Select your LMS book here, click on create button. And after that, now let's try to map all the fields one by one here. So for that particular purpose, we will start with our this columns layout here, and we will give the title here, title and value. So value is going to be RI bang LMS book dot fields dot title. Select it, and in the save into as well LMS book dot title we will write it here. Same thing we have to write everywhere. So I will just copy this part here, and the title of the book we will try to make it here required, because it is true. Without that they cannot add it. The next field is going to be our author here. So just try to write author here, and we will paste the rule inputs. So it is going to be author. Now after that, the next field here will be our ISBN number. So ISBN we will make it here. Just replace this save into with our value and save into, and here instead of title we will write here ISBN. Now the next field is going to be our total copies and available copies. So this is going to be our total copies, how many copies of this one we have, and here we will try to write the total copies here. This is total copies, and now let's add for the available copies as well. So here we will give the text as available copies, and let's replace save into with this value here, available copies. Let's replace with the proper field names here. After that, here this is going to be the published date here. So instead of just date, we will write here published date, and let's add our rule inputs. Value is going to be published date, and here as well we will write here published date. This drop down is going to be our value for the genre here. So this is the genre that you are currently seeing here. What we will do here is that if we will go in our LMS genre here, we will try to insert some genres here in this one. First genre is going to be, let's say here fiction, is active is true here, and sort order is, let's say 1 here. Second genre is going to be, let's say fantasy, and is active is true, sort order, let's say it is 2 here. And then let's add another row here. Third genre, let's add it here history, is active is true here, and sort order is 3. Let's add one more genre here, that is, let's say science, and here is active is true, and sort order is, let's say 4. So these are the 4 entries that we have added in our genre table. What we will do here is that we will go in our genre and we will sync our records here. So all this value will be populating in our record as well. Click on start sync and sync your record type. Now the sync has been completed here. Now let's go back to our UI here. See, in order to add dropdown, either we can query the data, or for the lookup table we have one more option to add the drop downs. Now we will write the record type as genre here, LMS genre. This is our data, and now we will add our choice labels. So the choice label is going to be this genre, and after that you have to write here dot fields dot value. So this is the choice labels, and now we will add the choice values. same thing we will write here, and now the value is going to be the IDPK. So in the drop down you will be able to see all the data of the record type here, and here we will obviously write the value and save into that we have been using everywhere. So just replace this with this one here, and here we will select the genre ID, and here as well genre ID. That's it. So our genre has also been selected. Let's rename this here to genre. And now when I click on submit, let's try to add a title here, something like some text data here, and click on submit here. Once you will submit the data, every detail will get submitted here. Once your UI has been completed, we will move to the process model part as well. Go to the library management, click on new here, and go to process model, and here we will add or update book. We will write it here. Click on create and save your security changes as well. Now our process model has opened, and here in the start node we will try to add our process start form here. So in the process start form as well you can add your UI. So here what we will try to add is LMS add or update book. It will create process variables directly. Click on yes here. So it has created the process variables. Click on OK. After that we will take an XOR gateway here. Now if the user click on cancel, it should go to the end node. After that what we will do here is write records, we will add it, and after that just complete the flow here and make sure that you enable the activity chaining as well. That is important in order to reflect the data, and here we will rename it write to book. And here let's try to add a decision here, or of PV bank cancel. So if this is true here, then go to end node, otherwise go to write to book here. And in the write to book, what we will do here is go to setup and select your record input here. Go to data, and in the output as well you can select the book here. So output is selected in order to get the IDPK. Click on OK here. So our process model has been ready here. For the best practices you can go in the properties, and now in the data management you can delete your process after 1 day as well. And alerts you can send it to, let's say that send to this group here. So LMS admins are there, for them we can send the alerts. Click on OK, and now publish your changes here. Now once your process have been published, you can create actions as well in order to add a book here. So the action that you are seeing here, it is nothing but record actions only. How to create that particular part here? So for that you can go to the book here, and after that go to actions, and here you will be able to see the add action to your record. Click on configure an action manually. And after that what you will see here is two actions you will see, record list action and related action here. This is to create new entry. For example, this is to create a new entry, and this action is there in order to update an existing entry here. So these two different things are present here. So for that what we will do here is we will go to our book, create a new action manually, and here we will add book. This one we will add it here. Let's keep the dialog box as medium here and select the process model LMS add or update book. Click on OK here. So your add book action will be created with the help of record list action here. And now let's create a related action here. So for related action we will try to name it as update book here, and medium only we will keep it. Icon we will keep it here edit here, and here we will try to select LMS add or update book. Select your value here, and here we will try to add the data for the book here. So there is a function available in Appian, that is query record by identifier. It used to get the data with the help of IDPK. So record type is going to be LMS book, and the identifier is going to be RV bank identifier. RV bank is used to access the IDPK of the record. Click on OK here. Click on save your changes. Now once your changes have been saved, you can actually see your record actions as well. Click on open record list. Then you will be able to see your record as well. So here you can add a book here. So see here you will be able to see add book action here. Once a book has been added, then you will be able to see the update action as well. So let's try to add a book here. For example, we will try to add here, let's say Harry Potter. It has been written by, let's say, J.K. Rowling, and ISB, let's paste it here. It is total copies is, let's say, like 5, and available is also 5. Publish date, I'm not sure, let's put it something, and genre is, let's say, fantasy. Click on submit. Once you click on submit, a new record will get created in here. So you can see here, new record has modified. Oh, I guess modified on modified by, we have not added the value. We have to go and add it. Go to the actions here and then related action, and if you want to update the book, it will get updated as well. So all this data you can see it here. So in this way we have successfully created our ad book here. Some things we need to fix here. For example, when somebody click on submit here, then other fields should get updated as well. So here you can see here we have multiple more fields here. These all fields are present here. Okay, so what we have to go here is, when they click on the submit button, these additional fields should get populated as well. How can we do that? So in order to do that, let's go in the save into of your submit button here. After that, here we will write here A Bank save, and our target is going to be RI Bank book here. After that, we will use here update function, because we have 4 values to save. One by one we will not write the save here. So the data that we want to update here is RI Bank book here. The index that we want to update, see, we have 4 indexes to update here. LMS book dot one is created by, let's copy this value here, and after that we have created on, and then we have modified by, and after that we have modified on. So these are the different indexes here. And what will be the value for that? The value is going to be for created by. Let's say that if already we have the data, we will use default value, because on update as well, every time if we submit, let's say that it is an update action, then what will happen? It will try to again and again update the created by as well. So we will use here dot created by, and otherwise if it is not there, then we will use here logged in user. Similarly we will do for this other part as well. Paste it here, and instead of created by, we will write the field as created on here, and instead of logged in user we will write here now. But for modified by and modified on, every time this field is going to update, no matter it is a add action or it is a create action. So I hope that this particular part is clear to you. Now if you click on save your changes here, see what will happen. All these audit fields will get populated here. So don't get confused with default value that much, because created by and created on is updated only one time only. Other than that, they are not updated, only one time when they are created. And if it is update action, so let's try to add a if condition here. So here we will try to add if condition. If is null or empty, what? RI Bank, we will write here book.id. See, when you are creating a book, there is no IDPK here. So it means that if book ID is null or empty, it is a new action. Otherwise, it will be update book here. So in this way, you can update the title of the book as well. Click on save your changes. Now let's try to add another book here. The title is going to be The Hobbit, and after that the author is going to be JRR, and let's paste some ISBN number here, and total copies, let's say that 15 copies are there, available is also 15, and some published date will be there, and genre is going to be, let's say, fantasy here. Click on submit here. Now next time when we try to click on submit here, all this value will get updated. Check our process instances as well. See, our process instance has successfully completed here, and here this time see created on is also there, and created by and modified on, modified by is also there. Now let's try to update this entry here once. Go to update the book here, and now let's try to update the entry to back to, let's say, like 15 here, and click on submit your changes. Now let's see how the data has reflected here. Go to the books here, and you will see that it was added by 758 but modified on 759. So this is how it works here. So our book record type is ready here, and the next thing that we are going to do here is add and update student with the UI and the process as well. Now we are back in the designer, and we will try to create the UI to add a student here. Go to the interface, and let's add the name of the interface as add or update student, and click on create here. Once your UI has been created, it will come here, and now select the form layout here, and let's remove this section layout from here, and here we will try to name it like add student, and then we will take a columns layout. What all details we have to add for the student? Check here. So for student, basic detail like name, email, phone, and then one gender is there. That's it. So we will take here one text field for the name part here, one for the email, and one for the phone as well, and the last part is for the gender here. Now let's get a rule input here. Click on plus icon and write here LMS student, and write here LMS student in the data type and select the record type. Click on create here. Now we will try to go in our form and one by one write data for all of them. So let's try to add here like a name of the student, and after that we will try to write the value. The value is going to be RI bank student dot fields dot name, and then we will write the save into as well, RI bank LMS student dot name here, and this field we will keep it as required here. So required is going to be true, and this value and save into everywhere it is going to be the same only. And for the gender, the drop down is going to be, let's say that male, and we will keep it here female. Same values will be for the choice values as well. Paste it here, and here it will be gender, and in the value and save into, again we will just copy it here and paste it here, and here we will just select here dot gender, and here as well gender. The next field is going to be email ID. So this is the email here, and in our value and save into, just select the email part here, and the next field is going to be our phone here. So for the phone as well, let's add the required field here for the phone. Here as well phone has been added. So in this way all the value have been added here. Now again the same thing we will do what we have tried to do for the book part here. Write the save into, and in the save into, let's see like in for the student what all data we have created by, created on, and modified on as well. One is active flag is also there. Now what we will do here is that we will write here A bank save, and RI bank we will write in the student, and then we will update the data before writing it here. So the data that we want to update is student here. Now let's add the index here as student dot created by. This is our very first field, and then we will add it here created on, and then we will add it here modified by, and then modified on as well. All these fields we have added here, and let's add the values as well. The value is going to be default value because only one time created by will be added here. So created by, and if it is null then just add logged in user. Paste it here, and same thing we will just try to copy and paste for the next part here as well, created by and created on, and it is going to be now. After that modified on is modified by is going to be logged in user, and here we will put it here modified on now. We have one additional field as well, that is active. So what we will do here is just copy it here and paste it is active as well, and is active is going to be true here. So these are the audit fields which are by default added by the system. Click on save your changes. Whenever submit button will be clicked, all these values will get captured in the database as well. Now once the UI has been finished, we will move on to the process part here. Now let's go and create a process model. Go to the designer, click on new, and go to the process model part here. Here we will add here add or update student. Click on create button here. Click on save your security changes, and now the process model has opened here. Now here we will try to add a process start form here. Now here we will try to select our UI. So our UI is student. Okay, it is not coming here, so let's go here and search our LMS. So let's try to search here. We will get two UI here. We will select the add or update student. Click on OK and click on OK here. By default it will create your process variables. Click on OK. After that we will create our XOR gateway here. If the user click on cancel, then it will go to the end flow. Otherwise it will go to the write records. So we will take here write records and connect the nodes as well. And in the cancel button, let's try to configure our OR of PV bank cancel. So OR basically means that OR of true is true and OR of false or OR of null is false only. That's why we keep it inside OR gateway. In here we will select end node, otherwise write records, and here write to student, and let's go to the write records, click on setup here and go to input, and in the output also we can go and add our variable name, just this. And make sure that you add an activity chaining so that the data will get refreshed. Now click on publish your changes. Once your process model has been completed and published here, in the same way we can go in the student record type and create our actions as well. So go to your student one here, go to actions tab, and here let's configure our record action manually. Click on configure new action manually, and here we will write the name as add student. And let's keep the medium size here, and LMS add, just write it here, it will show the process model name, LMS add or update student. Click on OK. So for record list action we don't have to give any parameters here because it is a new record, so nothing is required from scratch. Click on related actions now, and here we will try to write here update student here. Keep the dialog box size as medium. Icon we will select here edit here, and here we will LMS add, just write something like this, and it will show the name of your process here. And here in the same way we will try to query the data of the student here. Record type is going to be LMS student, and the identifier is going to be RV bank identifier. Click on OK here. So in this way our related action has also been added here. Click on save your changes. The changes have been saved. Now click on view record list link here. So here we will try to view the record list. So here is the record list here. Click on add student here. Let's try to add a student here. Let's say that John Doe is our student. Email ID is, let's say, john@email.com, and phone number is, let's say, like this is our phone number, and gender is male. Click on submit. Once you click on submit it, then in the process model you will see that the instance has been added here. Go to here and see here the student details has been added. If you go in the history tab here, so this is what the data that has come into your process. Every detail has come up here. And here you can see by default one checkbox sign is also showing for is active here. Go to your summary and go to the related actions, and here you will be able to update a student as well. For example, let's say I want to update this data. Click on submit here. Still it is showing add student, that we can fix it. Just add a if condition here. So let's add a if condition here, that if is null or empty. Basically when we are trying to create a record, at that time IDPK is not created. That is why IDPK will remain null here. So the label will be add student, otherwise it will be update student here. Click on save your changes. So next time when I go on update student, it will show here update student. See here update student is there. So our student records have been created here, and our book records have also been created here. All this structure have been ready. So book and student. After that we will try to create the UI and the process for the issue of books as well, and then the return of books as well. Now we are back in the designer, and now let's try to create the UI to issue a book. Go to new here, go to the interface here, and here we will write the issue book name and click on create. Here it will open the interface window. After that we will take a forms layout here, and in the forms layout, now if you go and check the issue book UI here in the UI we had a book and a student, and both of them are picker fields here. And then we have a box layout to show the additional information regarding the books and the students. So what we will do here is go to this here form and drag a columns layout here, and in this columns layout only we will try to add the picker fields here. And here let's give the name of the form as issue book. After that here we will take a picker field here. So see, when you write picker you will get multiple types of picker here. Here we want here record picker, and let's rename the picker as book. And here what we will try to get here is a box layout to show additional information regarding that book here. Now let's try to first complete this part, then we will move on to the student part here. And whatever the data that we are going to save here, we will create rule input for that. So go to the rule input, click on plus icon and write here LMS issue book, and here also we will give the type as LMS issue book. Click on here, and after that let's give the value and save into as well here. So the value is going to be RI bank book issue dot book ID. So whatever the book ID that user have selected, and same thing we will write for the save into as well, and same thing we will write for the save into as well. So this part has been done. Now how the picker field works here. So when you go in the documentation of the picker, there is something like a record type parameter here. So what we will do here is we will give here record type, and here we will write here the record type as record type LMS book. So when you try to write into a select a book here, so K, because as of now no book is added here, but if I write H here, so Harry Potter was there. So see here, the Hobbit and Harry Potter, both of them have came up here, and at one time only one book will be issued. So let's give a max selection as one only. So let's limit it to one book only. After this, once a book ID has been selected, so see here how the rule input will work. Here, see here, the book ID has been selected here. After this, we want to show the additional information regarding the book here in the box layout. So we will rename it as book info, and the color we will change is to info here. And in this box layout we will take multiple text fields. For example, one is for the, let's say, the title we have already got it here, right? So we want here, let's say, author, and the value is going to be what? As of now we don't know who is the author of Harry Potter. How we will know that? So for that you have to query the data. So here we will try to create a local variable first of all, so that we can store our queried data. Local bank book info we will write it, and let's write here query record type, and here we will give the record type here. So record type bank LMS book, and then we will give the filters. So filter is going to be what? It will be query filter. Select the query filter here. What field we have to filter here? So this is our LMS book here. Copy and paste it here, and dot ID. So that is nothing but our book ID. Operator is going to be equal to, and the value, where is the value stored? So in our rule input IDPK1 has been stored here. So RI bank issue book dot ID, that's it. And always give a apply when it should be applied, when not null or empty, this particular value should be not null, then only it should be applied here. After that we will provide the paging info here. So the paging info is going to be at one time one book only we are querying here, and then we will give here dot data. So now let's try to select H, write H once again here, and we will select the Hobbit. So once you will select the Hobbit here, see here, all the book information you are able to get it here for the Hobbit here. So in our box layout now we can write the author as well. Now our data is in the local bank where book info, and then here we will select the book, and here we will select here LMS book dot author. So here you will be able to see the author name here, JK Rowling, and read only we will keep it here true. So this is the read only parameter. So author we have selected here. The next parameter we have is genre here. So what we will do here is just copy above and paste it here, and write here genre. And if you see here, book have a relation with genre already. We have created a genre. So we will directly give here dot genre dot value here, but nothing is showing here. If you see in the rule input, we have the genre ID here, but nothing is showing. Why? Because we need the value of the genre, not the ID. ID is there in my query. So in order to get the additional data from your record type, you have to include those fields as well. So what we will do here is that for this particular book here, just copy it, paste it here, and go to the relationship and add genre, and then add the value here. Now let's try to add it once again. So what we will do here is we will select here Hobbit once again, Okay, so if we have unselected the data, still some data is showing here. Okay, so see, if you select null data, but still one paging info is 1 here, even if comes here null, because we have applied apply when parameter here. So even if it is not applied here, but still it will try to give you a data. That is why always a null check is important in your query. Query only when the data is populated. We will write here is not null or empty. What? This particular field should be not null or empty, then only this particular query should run. Otherwise it should not run at all, and then we will give here comma and null here. Now let's try to click on test interface and test here. See, as of now no book has been selected, so no query here. Now we will select here H, write it here, Hobbit will get selected. Once you select the Hobbit here, then the book ID is 2 here, but here we are not able to get the data. Why? Okay, so here we have selected wrong ID. Here it should not be ID, but it should be book ID here. And here also we have given the wrong value here. So here also we will select book ID here, and here also we will select here book ID only. Now everywhere we have corrected our value here. Now let's click on test interface. And let's try to give a value here. Hobbit we will try to give it here, and then the data for Hobbit will get populated, all the data. Along with that, genre will also get populated, fantasy. And see here, earlier this field was null, but now it is showing here. Because when you query the data, that should be available here to refer the value. After that, the next point to add here is available copies here. So available copies is available in the book. So what we will do here is just copy the text field once again and paste it here and write here available copies. That's it. And here we will just try to give the value as available copies. So now it will show you the available copies as well. 15 copies are available here. After that, we will try to add a validation here that let's say that this book has 0 copy available. This should not get assigned at all. So for that particular purpose, we will add a validation here. First of all, when you are adding a validation, always add a null check here before. So is null or empty? Let's say that this particular rule input is, if it is null or empty, then it should not be any validation at all. Done. First null check we have done. After that, if it is not null, then obviously we will get a data. So we will check that local bank book info and LMS book dot available copies. If available copies equal to 0, then we will show a validation that there are no copies available to issue. So we will show a validation something like this one here. Otherwise we will not show any validation at all. So what we will do here is let's go to our database and let's go to our book, and one of them we will try to make here available copies here 0. And now we will try to sync our book record type. So go to here this one and open the book record type and go to the sync options and click on start full sync and click on sync here. Now the sync has been completed here. Now let's go back to our UI and try to select, this time we will select here Harry Potter and just select this Harry Potter. It will throw a validation here that there are no copies available to issue. So you won't be able to select this book at all. So let's try to select Hobbit only here, and then all this particular information you will be able to get here. Similar approach we have to apply for the students as well. So what we will do here is, this is the column for this one here. Just copy that column here and paste it below. That's it. So the same information will get copied below, but instead of the book type here, we will write here student, and the record type we will put here is student here. Just copy this record type here, and the value is going to get saved into the student ID, and the save into as well will be student ID here. There is not going to be, I guess, any validation for the student. So if required, we will put it later on, but as of now it is fine here. So, and we will also write a placeholder as well, and write the placeholder as type for suggestions. So this is a kind of a standard placeholder for picker fields. And now let's try to write here L. I guess we had few student only in our value. So one is John only one student we have. We should import lot of data as well. So John Doe is our value, and oh, this box also we have to change here. So here it will be the student info instead of that. And Same way we have tried to create the book info, we will try to create the student info as well. I have copied and pasted the data, and here instead of book ID we will refer here student ID, because here you can see the student ID is getting selected. Query record is going to be here. This is the student one here, and for student we don't need any additional field, so let it be, and here it will be the student dot ID. So student details we need from here, and here it will be student ID, and here also we will change to student ID here. So I guess this is clear. We have just queried the data for the student here. Let's see what is the error here. Duplicate info. Okay, so we will not keep book info, we will give here student info. So in this way we will get the student data as well here. So all the details of John we are able to get here. Now what we will do here is, first of all, the student name we have already got it. What else we want here? ID we can get, email and phone number. So first of all is going to be the student ID, and it will be from the student info, and here we will just paste the student dot ID. So student ID they will get. Just copy this data from here. After that we will get their phone as well and paste it here. Instead of ID we will select the phone. After this one we will get the email ID as well, and just paste it here, and then we will get the email for our student as well. So all these details we are able to get. So student ID we have got, book info, all these things we have got it here. After that, what is left in this particular table here? When a book is issued, so we have added all these particular parts: ID, book ID, student ID, issue date is there. So see, issue date and due date field. This is a very important field, due date. How to add this particular point here? So just below this picker only, what we will try to add here is due date. So let's add a date field here, and the label is going to be due date, and the value is going to be, where is the due date stored? So the due date is going to get stored in the issue table here. So it will be dot fields dot, I guess we have not created any field for due date at all here. So if I go in the fields here, there are no fields for the due date as well. So what we will do here is go to the book issue, click on modify source fields. After that we will add a value for the due date as well. So just click on plus icon here and add a due date. It will be a date field here, and click on save your changes. So even if you have missed to add some fields here, directly you can add that field in the database as well with the help of the records there. So once this has been done here, you can see that in the database for book issue, a new field will get added, due date, even if it was not there from earlier. Now go to our UI and click on dot, and then you will be able to find the due date as well. And let's save the data as well here. Save into is going to be RI Bank LMS issue dot due date. Now by default we want that the due date should be 10 days. Now what we will do here is we will go to the picker field here, and in the picker field here we will try to add a save into that. When a student has been selected, means basically all the fields have been selected, we will put a default due date of 10 days here. Later on librarian wants to change, they can change that. So I will just write here A Bank save. Target is going to be our RI Bank book issue dot due date here, and the value is going to be today and plus 10 days. So 10 days of due date we are trying to add here. So now let's try to remove the John from here, and let's try to select John once again. See here, by default the value 10 days, after that the value will get populated. So in this way we have added all the required fields here. We have added the ID, book ID, student, issue date, due date as well. Return will be null. When it will be returned, then only these values will be there. Now there are two fields here, modified by and modified on. So see here, at this time we don't need any like update function here. If you want you can add it, but as of now it is not required. We can just go with save as well, because only two fields are there. RI Bank issue date dot modified by. Modified by is going to be our logged in user, and same thing we will just try to copy and paste it here, and here we will write it here modified on, and modified on is going to be now. So when the user will click on the submit button, all these fields will get populated: due date, modified by, modified on as well. Now just click on save changes. So now we have saved the changes for issuing a book here. Now a second change is there. See, if a book, this particular book has been issued, we have to decrease the value by 1 as well. See here in the workflow. Now issue a book. A student requests a book here. If available copy is greater than 0, the book is issued. That we have done it. Available copies are reduced by 1. That we have not yet done, that we have to done it. And the system record the issue date and due date, that we have completed, and email also we have to do it. So first of all, let's try to reduce the quantity of the book here. Now for available copy we have to decrease by 1. So for that, what we will do here is, we already have the book information. If you will see that complete book information with IDPK is present there, and when this data will get reduced, it should go and save in the database as well. So for that, we will create rule input for the book as well. So we will just add here LMS book, and here as well we will add the data type as LMS book here. Select record type and click on create here. And in the save into, what we will do here is, since we have only one data to update, see here A bank save, we will write it here. The target is going to be book here, and what we want to do here, we will update our data before saving, because we want to save the updated copies of book here. So data that we want to update is RI bank. Data is in our local variable, local bank book info, and the index is going to be here LMS book dot available copies, and these available copies are going to now change here. So local bank book info, and then book, and then LMS book dot available copies -1. It should get reduced by 1. That is what it was written here. And see, in the book there are modified by, modified on as well. Created by doesn't matter, only one time that is written there. So we will write here LMS book dot modified by, and then we will write for the modified on as well. These values will change here. So whenever that row is updated, these value should also get updated. Modified by is going to be logged in user, and modified on is going to be now here. And now click on submit once again. Once you will click on submit, this value will get updated here, and see available copies have become 14 here. Earlier, how many available copies it has? So let's check our book data. 15 copies it has, and now it has become 14 here. Click on save your changes, and now we will try to create the process model part of this. Our UI part has been completed here. So for that, let's go to our designer, go to the process model, and here we will try to name the process model as issue book. Click on create here, save your security changes, and now our process model has opened. So let me just close other tabs here, and here what we will try to do here is go to start form here, and here we will try to add our UI. Go to browse here, and here we will just try to add LMS name here, and with this we will get issue book as well. So click on OK. Click on yes, it will create process variables. Click on OK here. After that, we will add an XOR gateway. So add an XOR gateway here, cancel, we will add it. If cancel is true, it will go to the end node. And then we will write the write records here. So first write record will be where? Write to issue book, because book has been issued. After that, another write records would be required to update the copies of the book as well. So update available copies. So it will update that. And then we will connect to the end node here. Let's configure our cancel, go to decision, and here we will write or of PV bank cancel here. Click on save and close. If cancel is there, go to end node and go to write records. And then we will configure our write to issue record type, go to setup and select issue book here. Go to data and capture the output in the issue book only. And similarly, we will update the copies as well. Go to setup, go to book here, and go to data, output, and here as well we will go to book. And here we will try to chain these nodes together. So when you are chaining it, what will happen is that it will try to show you the changes at that time only if action is completed. click on publish it. Once you have published the process model, now it can be used for our actions part. Go to your record type here and click on close button here for the issue record type. And now let's go to the actions part here. And it will be also a record list action only. Why? Because everything we are doing from scratch. We are selecting a book, we are selecting a student, everything we are doing. We are not taking any reference of any existing data at all. We will create a record list action. Go to configure new actions manually and here just write here issue book. And here we will try to keep it medium, and here we will try to add a icon here, and here we will write LMS process model. LMS issue book. Click on OK. And now our record action has also been configured here. Click on save your changes. Once your changes have been saved, let's click on the link to see that how it actually works here. So for that, let's try to click on the issue book here. Here we have to select the book information. So only we have one book here. So if I select the Harry Potter, it will throw validation that there are no copies available to issue. So even if you click on submit, nothing will going to happen. And now let's try to select another book, that is The Hobbit here. So author name, genre, fantasy, 15 copies are available here. And now let's select our user. Only one user we have, John Doe. Automatically due date will get populated 10 days from now, and all the student information as well. Click on submit. So once you click on the submit here, your process instance you can go and monitor. See here, first of all, what has happened? It has, the data has come from the UI, then it has right to the book here, and finally it is updating the available copies as well. So now let's try to see our data. See here, this has been updated. So this issue book has been done, and if I go in the book section here, one book quantity will actually get reduced here. So if you issue the same book multiple times, so every time the quantity will get reduced. If it becomes 0, then what will happen is that it won't allow you to issue any more at all. So that was about the process model part. Now let's move on to our next section. Now the next thing that we are going to create here is the workflow for the return book here. So if you come in the documentation here you can see that returning a book is there. So what happens here is that the student returns the book here. So basically if I go in the site here, if you go to the tab of return book and click on return book here we have to type the name of the student, like which student has came to return the book here. After that, the system records the return date. So let's say that what happens here is, if we write any student name here, then the number of books that they have taken shows up here, and we have to select that book here and then click on submit. Then that particular book will get returned. And after that, available copies are increased by 1, and again we have to increase the available copy by 1 here, and at the end we will try to send the mail to the student as well. So all these things, let's try to do that. So first of all, let's go to our designer, go to new and click on interface here. Now let's name the interface name as return book. Click on create. Now in this interface, let's try to take a form layout here, and we won't need this section here, that's fine. And here let's rename the form to return book, and here we will take a columns layout, and in this columns layout let's take a picker field here. So we will take here record picker. Now this picker will work as a student selection here, as we have seen here that student is getting selected here. So let's rename the picker as student. And after that, let's try to configure this picker here. Go to expression, and here it is a record picker, so we have to write the record type here. So the record type is going to be LMS student here. Now let's write a placeholder for this one as well, like a type for suggestions. This is our placeholder, and we have to save that data as well, whatever the student has been selected here. So for that, we will declare a variable to store the student name here. So collapse the form layout here and write here local variable, and here we will write the variable as local bank selected student, which student has been selected here. So now let's try to add in our value and save into, so local bank selected student, and here as well we will write local bank selected student. We've only had one student, so let's type here J, so John Doe. So John Doe has been selected here. After that we are only selecting one student at a time only, so max selection we will keep it to 1 only here. Now let's try to select here. So if I select here John, so John will get selected, and here you can see the John has got selected here. Now once a student has been selected here, we want what all books this student has taken. How can we get that? So in the side you can see that once I select any name of the student here, let's say Sophia, so many books Sophia has taken, everything should get listed, and the only way to get here is to query the data based on the IDPK of the student. So we will declare another variable here, what all books they have taken. First of all, a null check we will apply here. So if is null or empty local bank selected student, if it is null or empty, then we will not query at all. Otherwise we will try to query the data for the book here. Now we will write the query here. So query record type, and which record actually we are trying to query here? We will query that record in which when a student issue a book, that details are kept here. So if you go in the database side, we have book issue table. Here only the data is kept that when a particular book has been taken. So what we will do here is go to your record type and write the name of the record type as LMS book issue, and after that we will apply a paging info here. So how many books? I guess maximum one student can take, let's say like 20 books for now, and then write here dot data, and we will also add the filters here. So the filter is going to be query filter, the field is going to be the LMS book issue dot fields dot student ID, and the operator is going to be here equal to, and the value is going to be local bank selected student, and also write apply when as well, apply when it is not null or empty local bank selected student. So see here, and dot data also we have written. So let's remove the John Doe and let's write it once again. So John I have selected. Okay, it is breaking here. Why cannot apply operator equals to field when comparing it to value? Okay, I guess that when we select John, it is in a list here. Okay, so that is why it breaks. So what we will do here is we will give here index of 1 here. So let's try to give here index of 1, because see, it is a when equal can only get applied to a value here, but here if you see here, it is not a value, it is a list of item here. If you go in the expression, it is a list here. Equal cannot be applied to list here. So now you can see here all the books of this student we are getting here. So John has just taken one book only, so one book is getting listed here. Can we issue another book to John here so that we get multiple data? So go in the book here, go to issue book here, and let's say that which book we want to issue. We only have I guess Harry Potter and Hobbit only. So if I select here Harry Potter, the problem is there are no copies available. So what we will do here is go to our book and Harry Potter, let's try to make available to 5. Now let's go to our record type and sync our book record type here. Go to the book record type, go to sync options and start full sync. Click on sync here. Now the record has been synced here. Let's go to issue book and click on issue book, and here we will select the Harry Potter book here. So available copies has become 5 and we will assign it to John here. So by default due date has been given as well. Click on submit button. So if you see here, the data has been issued here, but I guess here also we are facing some issue. So issue date is actually not mentioned at all in our issue book section. So issue date is not mentioned at all here. So due date is mentioned, but issue date is not. It should be today. We will make that change here. Now our record has been added. Issue date is not showing here, though this is a bug here. We might have missed to add the issue date here. We will fix that one. Now let's try to select John once again here. So this time 2 books will be shown for John here. So see here. So these are the 2 books which have been issued to John here. And with these books only we will try to show here in a card group layout. And now we will take here card group layout. So what is card group layout is, it's a new component given by Appian. So card group is there, just below that it will come here. So see here, by default it is getting arranged into multiple cards here. So based on whatever the number of data you will put it, it will arrange into series of cards here. So now we will take here this card layout, go to the card group layout here, and these cards should iterate over the number of books a student has taken. So the item is going to be local bank book of student, and expression will be here card layout. So let's cut it from here and paste it, and these all other card layout will get deleted. So we don't need that because now it will run in the loop here. So see here, 2 books he has taken, 2 card it is showing here, and we will make here show border is false and show shadow is true. So it will look a bit better here. And in the contents of the card group layout, if you have seen that here, we are showing the label as issued books here, and the title and the issue also we are showing. So now let's try to add the same thing here as well. Now for label, we will put it inside a section layout. So let's take here section layout here, and inside the section layout we will put the card group layout, and we will write the label as issued books, and the contents is going to be here card group layout. So just cut it from here and paste it inside this one here. And the label size, let's try to make the label size as small. So here you can see the label size has been small here. After that, the next thing that we will do here is, here in this card group layout we have to add the title and issue. 2 things we have to add it here. So we will take a columns layout here as well, and inside that we will take columns here. 2 column I will take it here. Why we are taking 2 column, we will see that shortly. So this is the another column here, that's it. And in the first column we will write the contents here. So let's add the text field here. So the text field label is going to be here title. And what is the title of the book here? So the value is going to be FV bank item, because we are inside the loop here. And then this is running inside where? Issue book. So LMS book issues dot add with the help of relationship here, because we don't need the book ID here. If you refer directly the book ID, you will get the book ID here, but we don't need the book ID, we need the name of the book. So let's go with relation here, book issues relation book dot name of the book, that is the title here. So this is the title, and it will be read only. Let's make it here true, and label position we will make it justified here so that it looks good. So this is justified. Now it looks fine. No title is showing here. Why? Okay, see here what is happening. Book ID is present, but where is the book title? How it will refer the book title here? So when you are querying the data, you have to query the fields as well. So let's give the fields as LMS book issues dot relation dot book dot fields will be book title, and when it was issued on, that is already available here. So let's refresh it, select John once again here, and this time we will get the book details as well. Expand the book here, you will get the title as well, and automatically the title is also started to come here. Now let's go back to our card group layout once again, and the next thing that we want to add here is copy this and paste it here, issued on. So issued on we will write it here, and then the issued on is inside the issue book only. So fields is going to be issue date. So this one, I guess this field is null here, so that we have to fix it. Issue date should not be null at all. As of now it is null, so let it be as it is. We will fix it, and after that we have to also add a check here. See here, one circle is present here. So in our second column, let's go to our second column, go to contents, and here we will take a rich text display field, and the value is going to be rich text icon, and the icon is going to be here circle. So if you see here circle, we need circle O. So that it will show empty here, and let's align this one to the right so that it comes in the right side here. Now this card should have selection here. So if you will see that if you click on this card, this will get selected, and the icon also changes here. Go to your card group layout, and here we will add a link here. So the link is going to be dynamic link, and now if you see here, these cards are selectable here. So if you select this card here, something will get selected. So if I select a card here, we should know like which card was selected. So for that purpose we will also create a variable to store that value, local bank selected card, which card has been selected here. And let's add in our dynamic link as well, save into. So save into is going to be a bank save, target is where, local bank selected card, and what value we have to save it here, FV bank index. Let's try to save it here. So which card is getting saved, we should know it. Click on the first card here and let's collapse the book of issuance. See, selected card becomes 1. Now select here, selected card becomes 2 here. So like this one it will work, but as of now the user won't know like which card has been selected. So for that purpose we will add a style here as well. Let's say that we are inside a loop here, so we will put a condition something like contains function. Contains, the array in which you want to check here is local bank let's say selected card here, and it will be 2 integer. Make sure that when you are working with variables, 2 integer you always put it here, otherwise it is going to break sometime if it is null. So if contains, what is the value that we want to contain? FB bank index. So if FB bank index is there in this card array, then it should show here positive. So positive, otherwise it should remain here transparent. And already I guess one style is given, so let's remove that style. And now let's check that here. So I guess positive is not the one here, so we will make it here, let's say success. So success we have make it here. And now let's try to see this card was selected. If I select this card here, then this card will get selected, and after that this icon should also become check here. So for that one what we will do is go to your contents here, and this is the icon here. So if the same condition we want to put here as well, so let me just copy the same thing from here, and if this value is present in the index here, so what it will try to show here, not this circle but check circle it should show here. So see here, if I select this one, then it feels that this card has been selected here. If I select this, then this card. But the problem if you see here is at one time only one card is getting selected, and here if we select multiple as well, all these cards are getting selected here. How can we implement that logic here? So everything is now going to come into the dynamic link. So from here onwards, try to pay more attention what we are trying to save here. So here we will add a condition that if first card it is, let's say that it is a first card here, then what it will do here is that it will save one value, otherwise it will append in the array here. That is the logic. So if let's say that same logic we will add it here. If it is present, so we will add a logic that if let's say that is the first card here, so if it is null or empty, what, local bank selected card. If it is null or empty, then it should just save this data here, cut it from here and paste it. Otherwise it should append the data. So append, the array in which you want to append is here local bank selected card, and here it will be FB bank index. So just select it here. And now click on this one here, so this should also get selected. See here, both of them are getting selected here. And if I again click on that, if you see here, one by one more and more values are getting like appended in the array. We have to make sure to stop this scenario, because then it will be a big issue here. So how can we do that? Let's try to see select a student here and select a value here. So first of all, one value got selected. If I click on there, then second value gets selected here. Now we have to remove the array. So basically what we want to do here is, if you go in the dynamic link here, if you will see that if it is null or empty, then it is saving one data, otherwise it is saving array of data here. And here only we have to make a if condition that let's say that number 2 or number 1 already exists. So if somebody again click on that, it should remove that value from the array here. So again we will put a condition that if contains, array in which we are looking is 2 integer local bank selected card, 2 contains, and FB bank index is there. Now if it contains that value already there, then what it should do here is we will write here a bank save, and target is going to be selected student only, and here we will remove that value. So remove the array from which you want to remove here is 2 integer and local bank selected card, this one, and which index you want to remove. So where contains we will put it here. So where contains is 2 integer. The value that we are looking to find is FV bank index, and the array in which it is found here is 2 integer local bank selected card. That's it. This value we want to remove it. Now click on the second array. It should get removed. Okay, I guess expected to where contains we have missed to add some parameters. So remove is there. The value that we are looking for is this one, and the array in which we are looking for is this one here. So I guess now the bracket is completed. Let's see what is the unmatched parenthesis it is saying here. We can collapse this one here, and remove also can be collapsed. A bank save is also there, and okay, so this should be inside this value here. And let's try to collapse the if condition here and collapse this one here, and let's remove this bracket. So now the bracket has been removed, and now let's try to click on the card once again. See here, the value will get removed, and if you click on again, it will again get removed. If I select it, it will get selected. How it is working is, if first of all our condition is what, let's try to check here, format it, and let's check it once again. If my selected card was null, then it just saved that particular value. But if it contains multiple value, then it appended in the array here. Now, if I again click on the same card here, so it is checking that if contains the value already, then in the save selected card, what we have to do here is we have to remove that particular value from there, and now we have removed it. After that, what we have to do here is, if you see here, both of the cards we can select here. Where is the data of this book here? Those 2 books that we have selected. So we have to get the book for this particular selected card as well. So we will write here local bank selected book data, and if we will start with our null check here, let's say that if is null or empty, let's say that user have not selected any card at all. So selected card is null or empty, then we will just write here null. Otherwise we will query the book record type here. So query the book record type here. The record type is going to be here LMS book, and let paging info is going to be here a bank paging info 1,20 dot data, and the filter is going to be here. This is the filter, query filter, and the field over which you want to filter is LMS book dot fields dot book ID. Operator is going to be in, because there are going to be multiple books here, and the value is going to be what? See here, what is the value of that book here, right? So 2 cards had been selected, and both of these data are already present here. Now the problem will be that how can we get the book ID here? We are saving the selected card here. What if instead of that selected card we directly save the book ID only? Then it will be much convenient for us to save the value. So let's go here in our dynamic link, and instead of our FB bank index, we will write here FB bank item, and then this is the book issue, and then write here LMS book issue dot book ID. Directly save the book ID only. Just copy the whole thing here instead of the FB bank index here, so that we don't have to query or like use any other function again. So wherever this FB bank index is there, let's try to search FB bank index here. So it is already in 5 places, so let's try to replace with this one here. Done. And here as well we will try to replace with our book ID here, and here as well we will try to replace with book ID. So these all places have been done here. Only 2 places it has remain here, and now let's add here as well. Only 1 place would be there, and here as well we will try to keep it. Everywhere it is book ID we have done. So now let's see that how it works here. So let's click on test interface here once, and select your student here, John Doe. He has 2 books here. Click on that. Instead of selected card, it will give you the book ID here. Click on this one here, so it will give you the book ID for that. So for that particular purpose, we will just try to add here local bank selected card, and it is gives us the book ID here, and we will apply here apply when as well, not null or empty local bank selected card. So even if it is a selected, it is giving us book ID data, so don't get confused on that one here. So book ID is actually 1 and 2 only. So these are the books that the user want to return. Let's say that, okay, so somewhere it has broke here, line number 26 it has broke here. Why comparing it to value? So it is breaking here in line number 26 here. So let's see that what is the error here. So the error is LMS book is there and book ID. So as of now, see here, only one book is there. It is not a list here. In works with list here. So what we will do here is, let's make it a list, even though we are not getting the list in the first time here. Now it won't break here. So it will become a list here. Now the next thing here that we want to do here is, let's say that, now let's move on to our next part. That is, let's say I want to return Hobbit here. So for Hobbit, if you check the documentation, you have to make sure that we have to increase the available copies by 1 here. So for that one, what we will do is, let's try to this particular book have been selected here, right? So this is the selected book data, and now we will create another local to update copies here, update copies. So for that, we will put a for each loop here, and we will put here items is going to be local bank selected book data, and the expression is going to be LMS book, give parenthesis here. We will construct the data here. What is the book ID? So the book ID is going to be FV bank item and then LMS book dot ID. So this is our book ID, and the available copies are there. So available copies is going to be FV bank item and then LMS book dot available copies, and we will increment by 1. So this is the place where we have added this particular validation here. And after that, does it have any other things here? Modified by modified on is there. So modified by will be our logged in user, and modified on is going to be now here. So these are the values for the selected book data. So in this way we can update our copies, and finally we have to save everything in our rule input here. So what all rule inputs we will require here? Try to imagine. First of all, like one data is coming for the return date here, and make sure that when return date is there, so we have to add the return date value as well. So first rule input we will add for our book issue. There is no separate record for the return book. So we will add here LMS issue books, and it will be here for multiple books. It can be click on create button here, and another rule input will be for the LMS book, because here we have to update our available copies, and it can be also multiple. And now let's try to go into our submit button and try to configure the different saves here. So go to the save into, and in the save into, let's first of all save our book data. So A bank save, target is going to be RI bank. We will write here LMS book here, and what data you need to save here. No update is required. All the data, whatever is in the variable, the same data we want to save here. And here directly save the update copies in the rule input. Nothing update is required here. Every data is already updated. So if you click on the submit button, this data of book will get saved into our rule inputs here. All these particular data are saved here. Now we have to save the book issue as well. So let's write another save here for the book issue, and the rule input is going to be here LMS book issue, and what data we have to save here. See, and now when saving the book issue here, so for that what we need here is that when a book has been returned, so make sure that that value is updated here. So we will update the data before saving in the RI here. Data is going to be a local bank books of a student, and the indexes that we need to update here is LMS. First of all, we will update the returned here. After that, we also have here modified on and modified by. So these are the different fields we have, and after that let's update the values here. So return will be now here, modified on will be the logged in user, and modified by is going to be again logged in user. Sorry, modified on is going to be also now only here. Click on the submit button. So for this particular book here, so you can see, oh, I guess for both of the books it is coming here. No, for only one book it should come here, right? So selected book data. Okay, So both of them books of student got there. So selected book data is fine, update copies is there, that is fine. Now as of now both of the value got saved, so we have to do one additional check here, that see both of the value we don't have to check, whatever book ID has been selected here, that book ID only should get saved here. So we will add another variable here, is that local bank selected returned book. So what book have been selected here? So first of all we will try to find with the help of where contents. We have already got our value. So to integer local bank selected card. So this is giving us the book ID, and where we have to find that value here, we have to find that in local bank books of student, and then here LMS issues dot book ID. So here we have to find that particular item, like where that value is there. So see here, first array it is there, so only first should get selected. If I remove that value, so it will become here null. And if I select the second value here, so see here, selected return book is becoming here 2, and that value only we have to save, but the complete array of data we will save here. So index of, okay, and then local bank book of student, so complete array, and this is the index here, and then just save here null, and this data only we have to save in our RI, not this book of student. So local bank return data. And now if you click on the submit button, only second book will get saved in the rule input. So here it is saying up cannot update here. Why? So let's try to submit once again here. Click on the test once, and see here where contents is breaking, line number 23. That is why, you know, like it is always important that you add 2 integer everywhere. Values will break when it is null. So now let's try to select another student here, and let's try to select the second book from here. And now what we will do here is that when we try to click on the select a book from here, let's say Hobbit we have selected, click on the submit button here. When I click on the submit button, only one book should get saved into this one here, and see here returned is this one here, modified and modified by. And if you select the book here, one copy will get updated here, updated copy is 15 here. So in this way we have saved all the values for the return book, and our UI has been completed here. Click on save your changes. Now our changes have been saved here. One more thing we had found, that the issue date was not getting captured. So let's go to our issue book UI once again, and when we are saving that, issue date should also get saved here. So in our issue type here, so we had modified by, modified on. Similarly we should have one more save for our issue as well. So the issue date time is going to be, it is a date time field, it will be now here. So whenever the user will submit this screen, it should become now. And also we will make something as required as well, because the form should not get saved empty here. So let's make it here required as true, at least something should be there. Click on save your changes. And now we will move on to the process model part of return book here. So go to the designer here, go to new, click on process model, and here we will write here return book. Click on create. Save your security changes. And now in our process model, let's try to add our form here. Go to process start form here, go to the browse here, and here we will try to search our LMS. Click on search button here, and we will search the return book. Click on OK and click on yes. It will create the process variables. After that we will add our XOR gateway here. After that let's add here write records. One record will be for the issue book, right, to you can say issue or return book as well, and another record type will be to update the copies of the book as well. So here we will write update copies. And now we will connect XOR to the end node here. Go open the cancel, go to decision, and here we will write OR of PV bank cancel. Click on save and close here. If it is there, if cancel is true, go to end, otherwise go to write to return book, and apply the activity chaining as well. Click on here activity chaining and enable the activity chaining here. Okay, let's go to the properties, and data management is going to be our delete after 1 day, and the alert, let's try to send it to the LMS admins. So these are the LMS administrator. Write to return book here, go to setup and select our book issue. and go to the data, outputs and records updated, book issue. After that, let's go to update copies and go to setup and book here. Go to data and updated book and book here. And now we have configured our process model. Now we will try to publish it. So go to file and publish the process model. Now in this particular part here, return book, how we will try to write the data here. So see, we have one record type for book issue here. In this book issue, if returned is null or empty, it means that it is not returned. So we can create another record type and we will add a source filter in that so that it will be convenient for us. And you will also learn something new, that same record can be used in two different ways as well. So just go to here and create a record type for that return book here. Click on create and save the record type security. Tell us about your data. And here we already have a database table. We don't want to create anything from scratch. Click on next here and click on next here, and here we have to select the table here. So we will select here LMS issue book. This is the only table we have. Click on next here, and now when you go to the configure data source, you will see that there is a source filter button here. We will add that whatever the record for which returned is null, so all these values will get shown in this particular record type here. So all these values are there. Click on next button here and click on finish button. So here in this record type, only those values will show whose returned is null. Basically means that those values are not returned at all. Now save your changes here. And now we will try to add our process model as an action in this particular record type here. Let's go to our actions tab and go to configure a record action manually. Click on new record list action. Here we will write here return book. Keep the dialog box as medium, and here LMS return, let's write it here and select the process model. So LMS return book, click on OK and click on save your changes. And now once your changes have been saved, go to view record list here. So here only those data will show where returned is null or empty here. So let's try to return a book from here. Select the name here as John, and if you see here, two books have come up here. Let's try to return the Harry Potter here and click on the submit button here. So once you click on the submit button, then this entry should get removed from this record type automatically. Why? Because the source filter is applied here, that only those records will show where returned is null or empty here. And see here, one record went out. So that is how it works. So in this way, this functionality will work here. So we have completed the process part of this as well. And now if you check here, the return book logic has been configured here. All these validations as well we have tried to implement. Decrease the count by 1, increase the count by 1, available copy 0, book cannot be issued, everything we have done. The next part is the email part here. Now we will move on to the section to configure the email functionality. Welcome to the section where we will configure the email templates. See, for the email part, we will try to configure two types of mail. One mail will be sent when a book is issued to a student, and in the second part we will configure where the book is returned by the student here. So if you see the mail that I have showed you earlier, like when a book is issued, this is the kind of mail they will get, and when a book is returned, so this is the mail they will get it here. For this part here, let's try to configure our HTML template here. So I will take help of a HTML template builder here, and here we will write our template. So basically what will happen is that as you write here, it will generate the HTML code for you. So hi, and then the next thing was that this content we will just copy it and paste it here. The following book has been issued to you. After that, what is there in this? A table is there. So in this table we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns and 2 rows are there. So we will take here 4 columns and 2 rows here. The first thing that we will write here is the title of the book here. After that, so genre is there, and then issued on is there. After that, there is due date here, and all these fields, that whatever you see here, these are all bold characters. So let's make all these fields as bold here. After that, in this particular part, we have to give the title, but title will be dynamic. We don't know that which title the user is going to issue. So we will configure our title as a pound symbol. See, when you configure templates in Appian, if you go to the process mode of issue book here we will take a send email node here, and in the send email we will attach it here. And when we will go to the send email node, go to the setup tab here. Now when you will use the HTML template, it will try to take whatever the data which is replaced by pound symbol here. So we will give here title as, let's say here 1 2 3 and then the title and 1 2 3. So in this way, like, you have to give the values here, copy it and let's paste it for all the fields here, paste for all the fields here, paste it. This is title, okay, this is here genre, and this is issued on is there, and this is the due date. So in this way all the fields have been configured, and at the end what we will do here is we will write thanks and LCB library. Basically low code basics, let's say that low code basics library here. That's it. So all these values have been configured, and in this one, see, whenever you write, like any HTML or anything, it is directly starting from the P tag here, that is paragraph tag. We have to add some additional information as well. So let's just copy this data here, and this is an online notepad here. I have just added an online notepad here to save the data here, and here we will add another tag, that is doc type HTML. And then we will write here HTML, and after that we will write the next tag as body here. So these are the basic tag. It will start and it will end as well. So at the end, first of all, we will end our body tag, and after that we will end the HTML tag as well. So in this way, like, our complete code for this one has been completed. So go to file and go to save here, and we will name the save as LMS book issue.html. Click on save here. So basically it will save with .txt file that you have to remove it afterwards. So what we will do here is go to the designer, and now let's go to the designer and we will try to upload that template here. Go to your file, go to the file explorer, let's rename it. So make sure that this .txt is not there at all. We will add our HTML value only. And now let's go to our new and try to upload the document here. And now we have uploaded our file. Click on next here. So this document will act as our template for book issue part here. So now this document have been uploaded. Now let's go to the process model, go to the send email here, and in the send email we will configure from process only. Let's keep it here. And in the to, we will write, always we will give our email address only because we have just one user only. So here I am just mentioning my email address. Click on save and close here. Subject will be LMS library, and then we will write here book issue, and then click on save and close, and here we will take our HTML template. Click on browse here, the search as issue, click on search here, and here is our template LMS book issue. Select that one, click on OK, and when you will select that, you will see that it has automatically scanned the template here. See, in Appian as well it says that key substitution will take place using pound symbol, like 3 before and 3 after that. And due date is going to be what? Where is the due date here? So I guess due date comes in the book only. So this is our due date. Click on save and close. Genre. So genre is going to be our book data, right? So book data, and then we have added the genre here. And now for the genre, what we will do here is that we will refer the genre with book.relation.genre.value. We have already configured this in our UI. So the same value will reflect here. After that, the title of the book. Title of the book is simple, straightforward. It will give the title here. And the next thing here is that issued on. Issued on is going to be here, and or maybe now we can give it here because it is going to be a timestamp. Click on save and close here. Click on OK, and let's validate it. Everything is fine. Click on publish your process model, and we will try to issue a book once again, and we will see that how we are getting the mail. Go to the book issue once again, click on issue book here, and let's try to issue book here as Harry Potter to John once again. Due date automatically will be fetched. Click on the submit button here. Once you click on the submit button, let's check the process instances. Here is the book issue. So currently it is writing in the book issue. Now it is updating the copies here, and click on refresh once again, and now it is sending the mail. Okay, I guess send mail has broke here. Okay, so it has broken here. So what is the issue here? Let's go to the errors here. Failed to send email. Okay, let's go in the instance and check the value here. Go to the process details. Some reference item could not be found. Please check model and correct any problems. So I guess that we might have given some reference which is not found here. So okay, see here, to email address is wrong. I don't know, I remember that we have given it correctly. So let me just save it here. I don't think like it is saving at all. So this one is fine. All these values are also fine here. Let's try to validate it and publish it once again here. And let's try to check the send email, that whether it is correctly saved this time or not. This time it is correctly saved. So now let's try to issue one more time Harry Potter to John here. So, and we will try to select the student, and now let's click on submit here. Now let's see that whether our instance this time will get successful or not. So go to the update book here. First of all, it will write to the issue book. Click on refresh, go to update copies here, and after that let's try to see send email. So this time it has successfully sent the mail as well. And now I will show you that how we have received the mail here. Go to the mail here and see here. Hi, the following book has been issued to you. Harry Potter, genre is fantasy, when it was issued here, and what is the due date. That all fields are coming here. Thanks LCB library. So this is the first template that we have created here. Now we will move on to the next template that will be a bit challenging as well, because here we have to create dynamic table using HTML here. So we will see that how can we do that. Now I'm back in the designer. Now let's try to create an expression rule to create dynamic HTML template. So here we will write it here, return book dynamic template, and click on create button. And now our expression rule has opened. See here, this dynamic template will basically return the number of rows for a table. Some of the data is going to get fixed only. For example, if you see the mail template here, this data that we are going, hi, the following book has been issued to you. This data is fixed, and the below data is also fixed. Only the table is changing. Even the column name is fixed here, and only the number of rows will change. So in this way we will try to create our table here. So first of all, what we will do here is let's try to create a local variable here, and we will create a local variable data, local bank fixed data. So some data are fixed here, and whenever you are working with HTML template, make sure to use the concat a lot, because concat will work a lot here. And see here, this template was what? Till here the following book has been issued to you until this body is there. So till here everything is constant, and even that particular part is constant here. And this one tr, this will only iterate for each row here. So what we will do here is let's try to concat this data here. All this data is going to be fixed here, and we will envelop everything within our double quotes and give comma. Same thing we will try to do everywhere, and we will add the comma part here, and here also let's try to do that. So every data we are trying to envelop within the quotes and add comma after that. Till here it will be easy for you to configure. Problem arises that how you will write double quotes in Appian here, because Appian itself work on the double quote. So for that we will take the example of ASCII code here. If you go in the ASCII code here, the double quotes are represented by, so if you see here, these are the double quotes. Char 34 is used for the double quotes here. So what we will do is and try to identify that what all values are inside double quotes here. So you will see that these values are inside the double quotes here, this complete value, and apart from that this values is not inside. So we will take it inside a next line here. So let's take it inside next line, give double quotes here and give comma, and for this one we will give here char 34. Char 34 will be our starting, and char 34 again for the ending part as well, and this whole part will now come into this char 34 as well. So now when we try to test it, it will give us that value. And again if you see here, one more border we have, so that border is going to be in the quotes here, and this one, right, so this one is separate entity here. This border is like this one, char 34 we will write it here, and then one is there, and again we will write here char 34. That's it, and again, and then we will write the remaining value like this one here. So we have now added all the value. So now let's try to cut this all data from here and try to test our rule that whether it works fine or not. So let's call this our variable, click on test here, and we will see that the whole HTML template we are getting here. Doc tabulation, the following book has been issued to you. This is not the text that we want. We want something else here. So the next text is going to be the following book have been returned. So here instead of this text we will write something like this one here. After that, so now let's remove this extra spaces from here. Okay, so and here we have to make some changes here. See, table border cannot be inside the table style here, so we have to make it at the top here, table style. So let's just cut it from here, and after the table here we will paste it here. After the table here we will write the border here, and after that border give equal to here, and then give the quotes here, and then after that one we have to write table border 1. So here we will write the char 34 once again, and here as well ending of the char 34 we have given, and inside that we will write here 1, give comma after that, and here then we will continue with the style part here. So now test our value here. See, HTML is the spaces are very important here, so make sure that you manage the spaces here. Table border is 1 here, and then style will come, and after style let's give a space here as well, and then inside that border collapse is fine, border width is this one here. Let's remove the height from here, we don't need the height part here, so only width we will try to configure here, and give a comma after this one. Now the width has been configured. After that let's give our closing tag as well. Click on test here. When you have tested, it will have the closing tag as well here. Now we will start to work on the body part after that, so give comma after that, and see here what is in the body here. So if you see here, the T body is starts from here and it goes till here. Okay, and in that where we have the dynamic rows as well, but this one is not dynamic, so we will just try to copy the T body, and from here we will also copy the TR. So just copy from here, go to your expression and paste it here. So this T body will be inside the double quotes here, and here as well give comma. This TR style will be inside this one, and see there is the height here, right? So for height what we need here is this height will come in below, give quotes and enter, and this height will be inside char 34. Copy it, and here and the closing quotes as well, let's write it here. After that we will put the height, this one, inside this part here. So height has been done here, and after that this closing tag will also be there, so paste this one here. So our height has been there, and this will be common everywhere wherever height will be required, and replace the height with width here. We will only require the width here, so instead of height let's try to replace this with width here. That's it. So our width has been configured, and everywhere all these heights and all this we can ignore that part. And now after that, once this has been configured, now our first column name will be our title here, give comma here. And after that again we have to add the same thing here, copy this one here and paste it below. After title we will give here the second value is issued on. Instead of genre we will write here issued on. And now we will come to our last part here, returned on. So returned on, so this is the date for returned on, and the last tag we don't need it, so let's remove it here. We can ignore this TR for now, and let's remove all these unnecessary spaces. Okay, fine. Now let's click on test here. So when you will click on test here, you will find that okay, so here you can see the preview. So T body is there, TR style, width is there. Okay, and one thing is missing, I guess. See, now what we will do here is this TD style is there. Again we will copy the same thing for the second row as well. Okay, and here we will try to paste it. So this TR style is there, and after that this is our next value is going to be issued on, and after that once again we will paste it here, and the next value is going to be here returned on. Click on test here, and here we will be able to see the data. So just copy this expression and let's take the preview that how does it look like. Click on OK. So as of now it is not looking much better at all, so some tags we might be missing here. So let me fix the missing tags here once again. So I have fixed all the missing tags here. You can also check out this one. The next important part is the rows here. So we will create another local of local bank rows here. Now we have created another local variable local bank rows so that we can get dynamic rows. And how we will get dynamic data here? So first of all, we will create a rule input for the data that will come from outside book issue, and it will be a type of LMS book issues, and it will be an array here. And after that we will take here for each items is going to be here RI bank book issue, and the expression is going to be here. Let's add here concat. Now see the template ones, how the table can get iterative here. These are the number of rows that is iterative here again and again. As of now it was fixed, but it will get iterative. So first of all we have to cover that everything inside the TR here. So see, TR is starting and TR is ending here. So let's go to our expression, and here we will write first of all TR, and then TR will close as well. This is the tag for the table, and after that, and here again we will write the same thing, td style cat 34. So from somewhere we can take that value here. So see here td style cat 34 and closing tag here. So just copy here, and let's collapse this one here and paste this value here, td style cat 34 width is 25%. So that we are going to take here, and then start this particular value here. So the very first value that we wanted to write was FP bank item, and then it will be book issue dot relation dot book dot title, and then this will get closed here. And after that let's close the TD tag as well for this particular title here, the TD tag here, and we will close the TD tag. And in the next value that is going to be issued on, so just copy this value from here, and here we have issued date, and again after that the same thing we will copy from here, give comma and paste it here, and this will be dot returned. In this way, let's say that somewhere are we missing any comma here. So where is the comma missing? 57 line number. So here we are missing the comma. Let's give a comma here and click on test here. So in this way our table will get completed and it will show the value here. Let's try to test with some data here. Query the, let me just query the book issue here. So here we are already querying the book issue. Let me just copy the data from here and let's paste it here. Paging info is this one, and this filter is not needed at all, and click on test here. So when you will test it, it will try to give multiple values here. The next thing what we have to do here is that at the last we have to write the end text as well. These are the end text, all the end text we have to write it here. So concat local bank, let's say fixed data, and then local bank rows have came up here, and after that some fixed data is there in the tag here. Once the table ends, for example TR, so T body, T table, and everything is there. So just copy all this, and now inside quotes we will paste all these values here. For example, like this one we have pasted, and click on test here. So it will reflect all the data here. Let's just copy this part here and go to our code and try to check the value. See here it is showing like this one, Hobbit. So for first two there was no issue date, and for this one we have the issue and but not the return date. For one we have the return date as well. So in this way our template has been ready. So just save your expression here, and now let's go to the process model of return book. This is the process model. Take the send email node from here and add it on the line. After that open this send email, go to the setup tab, it will be process here, and here we will write to email address. Let's make sure that it doesn't become null again. Okay, and subject is going to be LCB library, and then it is return book. Click on save and close, and here we will give our expression. The expression is going to be rule bank LMS. Just copy this expression here and paste it here. The data is going to be here book issue, so the book issue is going to be here LMS book issue. Click on save and close here, click on OK, and click on save and publish. And now we will go in our record and we will try to test this functionality. So go to return book here and return this particular book. So let's select this student John. Okay, why it, oh, I guess some duplicate entries are also there getting selected. And now let's select this book from here, click on submit here. So once you have submitted, let's check the process instance here. So first of all, what it will do here is it will try to write in the return book here. After that, it will update the copies here. And now it will try to send the email here. So email has been sent here. So let's check our mailbox here. So we have got another email here, and see the Hobbit is there, issue date was null, that is why it didn't come, and then return data as well. So all these values have been configured. So in this way we have configured all the important parameters here, return book as well. And finally we can now work on our site as well. Now we have completed this one here, and we have noticed a bug that when we return a book here, so let's try to return a book, and see here multiple books are same are showing here again and again. So why it is showing that is, let's try to go here in the return book, books version. Oh, see, it is querying the issue book here. What we will do here is that in the issue book, actually see here what is happening here is that why multiple entries are showing here, because in the issue book all the books will be there, whatever has been issued, whether it is returned or not. We will add another query filter here as well, because then we have to make a lot of changes then. So this book issue dot returned, it should be here is null, then only those books are returned actually, and remove the value and apply when from here. So in this way, like the same filter has been applied as a source filter for return as well. So it will try to query only that data where is returned is null. Click on save your changes, and now we will try to go in our action and check again. So close this one here, click on return book here, let's write John here, and see only 2 books will show here which have been yet to return here. So in this way we have tried to resolve this bug here. Now we will move on to our next part of creating site here. So let's go to our designer, go to new and click on site here, and we will write it here library management portal. We will write it here, and here as well we will write library management portal. Click on create here and save your security changes, and here we will add the pages here. Click on add page here. The first page is going to be book here, so it will be books, you can write it here, and let's add the book as well here, something like this, and it will be a record list here, LMS book. Click on add here. So our first page has been added, that is LMS book. Now the second page we will add for the student here. So just write it here students, and here we will just search a student here, and here we will search the record list, and let's add the record list as LMS student. Click on add here, and then we will add the page for the issue book here. So issue book, and let's try to add here, let's write something like this one here, record list, and here we will select here LMS issue book. Click on add here. So our issue book has also been added. Click on add page here, and we will write the next page as return book, and select the icon here as mark, that's fine, and here we will type will be record list LMS return book. Click on add here. All the pages have been added here. If you see in the site, books have been added, students have been added, issue book is there, and return book is also added here. Now the background color we will try to change it, and for the background color just select this one and paste this particular hex code here. So this is the hex code for the background color, it will look a bit better. And now let's select the selected page highlight. I will paste this hex code here. So page highlight will become a different color whenever a page is selected, so it will show in a different color here. And site name also we can show here, so library management portal will show here. Let's paste this accent color here, and the accent color, see the button color has been changed here. After that we will change the loading bar color as well, because both of them are currently same only. Select this one, remove it, and apply this hex color. You can customize your site in your own way as well. I have customized it in this way. Click on save your changes. Changes have been saved. Refresh your page here. So once you refresh the site, see now it looks much better. So here you can add a book here, and here you can add the students. Here you can issue the books, and see here all these books have been there to issue, and here you can return the books here. And after that what we will do here is, see here books we have the option to add, but where is the option to update books? That is not there. So what we will do here is, let's go back in the book record type. This is the book record type. Go to the list here. We will try to add update book related action there. Go to edit list here, and now let's try to add another column here. Now edit this grid column here, click on that edit icon, and here we will remove the label and write here record action field, and the actions is going to be record action item, and the action is going to be here LMS book dot actions dot update book, and the identifier is going to be here FV bang row, and then LMS book dot fields dot book ID. So this is our related action has been configured. Click on OK. So if you see that, and here you can see that the update book is showing here. After that we will see that, see name is showing, title is there, and see genre is showing as ID here. We don't need the genre as ID here. So what we will do here is, so in the grid column we will go for the genre, and we will add relationship here. So the value, let's try to go in the edit here, and instead of this one we will select actions and then relation genre, and then the field is going to be value. So in this way the value of the genre will show, and see here all the genre of the value are showing here. Click on OK. Click on save changes, and now the changes have been saved. If you go in the book, so all these values will reflect here. If you click on update book, the books can get updated as well. You can change the number of copies if you want, and genre and all these are present here. And similarly we will make changes in the student record type as well. I guess it is already, everything is looking fine here. We just need here update book icon. So for that one, let's go in the student record type here, and let's go to the list here, click on edit list, and at the end let's add a column here. Edit the column, let's remove the label and add the value as again record action field, and the action is going to be record action item, and the action is going to be here. And now let's write the action as here student action. So student and then actions and update student. The identifier is going to be FV bang row, and then we will paste the same thing here, and it will be student ID. Click on OK. So now in the preview you can see update student as well. Click on OK here. Click on save your changes. Once your changes have been saved, the update action will show in the student as well. So let's try to refresh our page here. So here you can now see that update student is coming. But what about the summary view? We have not created any summary view as well. So if you go in the student ID here, actually nothing will be shown here. So what we will do here is, we will use the Appian summary views. If you go in the view tab, automatically Appian will create summary for you as well. So if you want to get summary view, so directly we will generate the view from here. So just click on generate record view, and it will generate your summary view as well. Just click on next and click on generate view. So this view will get generated for the student. Same thing we can do for our book as well. Go to the views here, book as well. Go to record view here. Book has some relation. So if you want to add the genre, you can also add that. Click on next here, next, and click on generate view. So click on close here for the student, and our this view has also been generated here. And now let's save the view for the book here, and we will save the view for the student as well. Now both of the view have been saved here. Now let's try to go to that particular link of a student, and you will be able to see the summary view of a student here. So by default Appian used to create the summary view. So click on book ID here, and you will be able to see the summary view for the book as well. If you go in the issue book here, so let's see that in the issue book, do we need this link in the ID? I don't think this link are required, neither for the return and nor for the return and issue book as well. Both of them doesn't require any link, because all the data is already present here. So let's go to return book and click on edit list here, and we will remove the link from the ID here. So let's edit this ID field here, and where is the link? So this is the link here. So just comment it out. Click on OK. and click on OK here and save your changes. So basically what it will do here is it will try to remove the link from here. Same thing we can do for the issue book as well. Let's refresh our site once and see the link has been removed here. And that's the wrap on our library management system. We have covered everything from setting up the databases, managing book transactions, student transaction, issue a book and return a book as well. Apart from that, we have learned how to create the dynamic templates with the n number of rows and the fixed template as well. We have seen that. So I hope that this tutorial helped you to understand core concepts of Appian development. Also, let me know in the comments that what feature you would like to add to this system. Maybe notification, analytics, or even an admin dashboard. So that was all for now, guys. Happy coding and keep building applications. Thank you.